Hello, thanks for clicking and welcome to Telecom Training. So today we have a very interesting topic to discuss, and like we have already discussed in our previous chapters, this is a very interesting topic on 5G. So we'll be talking about the service-based architecture in 5G. We have two different types of architecture. One is reference-based architecture, wherein we have the network elements. In the legacy system, we used to have a reference-based architecture. That means you have core, you have RAN, everything. Today we'll be talking about the service-based architecture. That means certain network elements are actually network functions. Though 5G offers softwares in the form of different software packages which actually functions in a particular way, or it actually represents one network entity. So now the functions are not hardware based or hardware independent. Rather, anyone can deploy a package or a software in any hardware as a network function, or as an network function in a network entity. So it's a little bit confusing, but while making this statement, I'll make sure by the end of the session you'll be able to understand between the reference-based architecture and the service-based architecture. However, we'll have a different video on the reference-based architecture on 5G. So let's talk about service-based architecture. So as you can see, we have UE, or the user equipment. That could be your laptop, your mobile phone, or any other form of equipment which is having application, or some applications supports 5G services. So that would be considered as a UE, or the user equipment. And we have the UU interface, or N1U interface towards the RAN, or the radio access network. So in access network we have G node B, or the next generation node B, or the next generation E node B. The E node B, LTE node B, that supports the 5G core. So we have two different kind of nodes here in radio access network. If we are coexisting with the 4G core, then it will be G node B, which will be used as an additional access point in the existing LTE or legacy network. Or if we have completely new network, that means 5G core and 5G RAN, then we go completely with the standalone deployments. That means we have only 5G network. If we go with non-standalone deployments, then we have existing 4G core and we are just deploying new G node B as an additional radio, and which is a 5G node. So two different nodes here in radio access network. Next generation E node B, or the G node B. Next one is user plane function, which is responsible for user traffic management, packet forwarding, all the user plane function, right? So one of the most important feature, or we can say add-on in 5G, is the CUPS based architecture, or control plane and user plane control user plane separation. So we have UPF for the user plane traffic and all the user plane functionality, we use UPF, and then SMF, AMF or AUSF, and rest of the function are for the control plane, right? So we have a clarity in user plane and control plane separation in 5G. So we have UE, RAN, and then UPF, which handles all the user plane functions, and then we have data network moving forward, and we have AUSF, authentication server function, which is a server which provides authentication, and then AMF, or the access and mobility management function. Like we have the MME in 4G or the LTE network, we have AMF, okay, for authentication and mobility management in 5G. And then we have SMF, or the session management function. it manages all the different sessions of the user. Okay, it could be a VoIP call or a video call or any particular service request, maybe interactive gaming, or some high speed downloads, like some gigabytes download, etc, etc. So we have different kind of sessions in 5G. So session management function handles all these sessions, and we may have multiple session management function depending on what are the different categories of session we are handling, and depending on the network slicing also we have different kind of session management function. So let's go into the interfaces. We have N1 interface, N1U interface, or UU interface between UE and RAN, or the 5G RAN, and then you have N1C, or the control plane interface between UE and AMF, that is for authentication, authorization, okay, and the mobility management also. Then we have N2 interface, which is between the RAN and the AMF, or the access and mobility management function. We have N3 interface between RAN and UPF, or the user plane function, and we have N9 interface between, if we have multiple UPFs, okay, then we have N9 interface between them. We have N6 interface between UPF and the data network, okay, and then N4 interface between the session management function and the user plane function. So that's all about the basic interfaces in the service-based architecture, and depending on the different kind of services or function, network functions, we have some more entities. NSSF, or the network slice selection function. So network slice selection is new in 5G. So it was not there earlier in LTE network. So this is a new functionality, which is definitely a software deployed in any hardware, or any vendor's hardware. So NSSF ensures network slicing for different kind of user sessions. Depending on the service request, we may have different slices. Like if I'll give you one example, like we have 3 different use cases: URLLC, ultra reliable low latency communication; MMTC, or massive machine type communication; and then EMBB, or enhanced mobile broadband. So for different kind of use cases or service request, we may have a different network slicing. For URLLC you may have a different slice, or for MMTC you have a different slice, okay, or for EMBB you may have a different slice. So at least for 3 different use cases you may have 3 different slices, so as 3 different session management functions, okay. So it will ensure which particular slice or which particular AMF or SMF should be chosen for any particular kind of or any particular type of user request, depending on the use cases, okay. Now NEF, or the network exposure function, this is also new in 5G NR, which talks about connecting with third-party applications or to the external application servers. Some third-party applications, they can use the 3GPP, and the non-3GPP applications also can be used. So network exposure function gives access to the external application servers. So for any third party, this will be very useful, and this is the gateway for the third party applications. Let's take the example of Netflix. So that's a third party application. Through network exposure function, they used to have access to the 5G services or the 5G network. And next one is NRF, network repository function. This is also new in 5G NR. Now let's talk about all the old application with a new name, old wine in a new bottle. So PCF, or the policy control function, this replaces the PCRF, or the policy and charging control function in LTE or 4G technology. So that is called PCF here, policy control function, which handles all the different QoS and the different policy and the charging, okay, throughout the network. Next is UDM, or the unified data management. So this one replaces the HSS in 4G or LTE, okay. Like HSS is having all the user information. Okay, so same thing is handled by the Unified Data Management or UDM. And next one is application function, which was there in LTE or 4G also. So this will handle all the applications. Now that's all about the service based architecture. Basically, if we exclude AF, SMF, AMF, AUSF, NSS, F, NEF, NRF, PCF and UDM, all this comes under service based architecture. You can see the bus and they are commonly connected. Anyone wants to communicate with any other network function here, they have this common platform, they can talk to each other, they can use the other server or other function to extract some data, they can have a communication between them. So this is a common platform for all the network functions to use one another's data or space, and you can they can extract the information. For example, let's say UE is sending a request for registration, so AMF may check the data from UDM, or it may connect with PCF also to get or extract the data. So with a common platform, you can communicate with all the network functions. So like we have many different features in 5G core, like network slicing or the user plane and control plane separation. Okay, we have virtualization, and this is software based network. So you deploy different softwares as network function, and that can be deployed with any vendor's hardware. So these are now not hardware dependent. Rather, we can deploy the software in any hardware. So that's the beauty of 5G system, and this is all about service based architecture. One last thing, all these interfaces will have an initial N. So this particular interface will be called NSSF, or this one will be called NNEF or NNRF. Okay, for 5G NR, we use N as a prefix for the network functions, and we use them as an interface in this common bus. Okay, so this is a common platform. We can communicate with each other or all these different functions, right? But in reference based architecture, we will talk about different network entities, like we discussed about all these common entities in the beginning. And let's wait for that video. In our next session, we'll be talking about the reference architecture, and these are all the full form of all the network functions we discussed just now in the service based architecture. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you are subscribing to our channel and hit the like button and give us a comment. How do you like the video? And do write to us if you want to ask any question, or if you have interest to know any particular topic as such. So you can just write a comment to us. We'll be getting back to you through our new videos. Thank you so much for watching. Take good care of yourself. Till next time. Bye-bye.